Welcome to the Red Card Football Channel. Today we'll be discussing Senegal's historic 1-0 victory over Morocco in the African Cup of Nations final. Senegal actually began the much better team. The midfield of Zakaria and Idriss Gana Gueye controlled the midfield, and Senegal created the better chances as Mane was having his way with Achraf Hakimi on the right wing, creating great chance off a corner kick where Bonu made an excellent save. After a great one-on-one, Bonu made an outstanding save to keep the score at 0-0 before halftime. Morocco actually started to play better in the second half. El Kaabi had an excellent chance as he was put through on goal, but he shot wide of Mendy in the Senegal goal. And the Senegal did end up scoring a goal in the 91st minute, but it was controversially disallowed on a foul on Achraf Hakimi, which for me, I'm not 100% sure was a foul. I think it was a very soft call. And at that point, Senegal would feel aggrieved. They would feel even more aggrieved 6 minutes later as Brahim Diaz, for what seemed to be a clear push by the Senegal player, fell in the box. The VAR intervened, gave a penalty kick to Morocco. Senegal players actually tried to protest and leave the field, but Sadio Mane was the great hero of the final, as if they had stayed off the pitch for 3 more minutes, they would have been disqualified and lost the final 3-0. But Mane got the players back on the field. Brahim Diaz had the chance to win the final with the final kick of the game, but he took a horrible Panenka penalty. Mendy read it brilliantly and saved it. And he gets my red card because he cost his team the final. You have no right at that moment to take such a ridiculous penalty in the final. You have to try to hit it with power in either corner or hit it down the middle with pace. The worst type of penalty you could do at that moment is a Panenka because you need incredible skill to take the penalty kick. Brahim isn't like a Lionel Messi level player to be doing that. He should have hit a better penalty. Because of that, Mendy was able to read it and save the penalty. Mendy, by the way, at Chelsea, saved the penalty against Aguero in the last minute of the game from very similar circumstances when he tried a Panenka. So if he could save from Aguero, he sure as hell could save from Brahim Diaz. And I thought Brahim Diaz was very irresponsible, and he had been great for Morocco to that point, arguably the player of the tournament until the final. But this crucial penalty miss was devastating as Morocco never really recovered from it. And at the beginning of extra time, Sadio Mane dribbled past several players, giving the ball to Pape Gueye. Pape Gueye hit an incredible strike past Bonu to make it 1-0 for Senegal. Morocco really were stunned by this, conceding several chances and the counterattack. Their best chance of the game came in the final minute of the first half of extra time with an excellent cross sent in. El Nesri had a chance with a header to equalize, but he sent it over the bar. Senegal had chances to close out the game, but Bonu made 2 outstanding saves in extra time to deny Senegal, but Senegal had to win 1-0 in Morocco for a historic victory. This is Senegal's second African Cup of Nations in 3 attempts. In the last 3 times that they played the AFCON. This is their second total victory. This is a magnificent achievement for Sadio Mane, who won player of the tournament. He not only scored the winner in the semifinal against Egypt, but had been a crucial player throughout. And because of his leadership, the players didn't abandon the field. If they had stayed 3 more minutes away from the field, Morocco would have won the final anyway. He told the players to get back on the field. He believed that his goalkeeper could save the penalty. And Edouard Mendy was also the hero who read the penalty brilliantly from Brahim to save the penalty. Senegal, despite the controversial refereeing in the final, overcame it to win in Morocco, which is a magnificent achievement to give their country a second AFCON. Makes players like Koulibaly, Idriss Gana Gueye, Sadio Mane legends in their country. This is their second AFCON in total. Koulibaly, although was suspended in the final, the players who replaced him were magnificent at the back. I thought players like Diouf at fullback was brilliant. I thought Sadio Mane had a great game and limited really Achraf's runs from this fullback position. And I thought the tactics by the Senegal manager got it completely right. Well done to Senegal. The Lions of Teranga winning their second African Cup of Nations in their club, in their national team's history. As for Morocco, this was a devastating loss for Morocco, a loss that they may never get back. A chance to win a first AFCON in 50 years. It was in the boot of your best player in the tournament, in Brahim Diaz, and he missed the penalty in a very bad way, in a very ill-disciplined way. If he had taken even a penalty kick that was hit, if it hit the post, similar to Absalom Gyan in 2010, he would not get the criticism he's getting today. I think Brahim's criticism was fully deserved. He should have taken a much more disciplined penalty. Yes, he had time to think about it, and that made it harder, but there's no excuse for the penalty he took. Edouard Mendy was able to read it very easily, and it was very easy to save. And even if he didn't read it, he was able probably to somehow still save because it was a very weak penalty. That cost him the final. That was really the biggest talking point about that final. And for Morocco, this was a chance for their golden generation who made the semifinal of the 22 World Cup to win an AFCON on home soil. They may never get a better chance again. A defeat like this could hurt the generation forever in terms of winning a trophy as big as the African Cup of Nations. And considering Morocco only have one in their history, this was a devastating and a golden chance missed for this generation of Achraf Hakimi, El Nesri, and all the other great players that they have in this national team. As for Senegal, this was a historic night, arguably the greatest night in Senegal's history to overcome and get a 1-0 victory on the road to win an AFCON final. It was a truly historic achievement. For Sadio Mane, he is now one of the all-time great African players, and for me, only behind Edo as the greatest African player of all time. That's all for my analysis for today. I hope to see everyone next time.